Hi everyone, I'm Stephen and welcome to Audio Nautica. And finally I get to do some proper Nautica. Haven't been able to go on a cruise ship for about 2.5 years due to COVID. And finally I'm on a cruise ship. And I know a lot of people are interested to see what a crew cabin looks like. There's quite a few videos out there. If you've seen them, there's all sorts of different kinds of crew cabins. Some of them are quite small. As you'll see, this one is quite roomy. This cabin is basically for short-term staff on the ship. I'm on for 28 nights and then I go off, and that's the longest that I've ever been on. So as you can also see, it's set up for two, but there's only ever one in here. For some reason, both bunks are made up on this ship, but there's only ever one person in this cabin. So anyway, let's have a look at this cabin. We start by turning around. We can see here is the door. Now, this cabin is actually in a passenger area. It's not down in the depths of the ship, so this is on deck 8. And if I stepped outside, which I'm not going to, but if I stepped outside, it would just be in a corridor with a heap of passenger cabins. And the only way you know this cabin is any different from the outside is that it has a strange number. So there is the door, and we have just on the inside of the door, there is a nice full-length mirror there. There is the air conditioning control, which I always like to have the coldest it will go. A couple of coat hooks on the inside of the door, and the garbage bin is down there on the floor, which will get emptied every day by my stateroom attendant. Now, one of the things that I really love about this cabin on this class of ship is that because this is fitted out for two crew members, we've got this bank of wardrobes. So it's really two sets of wardrobes, but because it's only me who's in there, I get it all to myself. So I get heaps of storage space. So if we have a look in this one, heaps of hanging space. There's drawers down there, and the other one is a full length cupboard, and then I get exactly the same thing on this other set of cupboards here. So heaps and heaps of storage space. The life jackets are up there, and 2 life jackets because the cabin's fitted out for 2, but as I said, there's only ever one in here. And then there's heaps more storage space. So I have here this desk, which is very, very handy and functional. So there's heaps of drawers there. You can see there's a bar fridge down there, but it's not actually plugged in, so I'm not quite sure why it's there, but there you go. And then there's some more cupboards up there. This ship was built in the early 2000s, so there would have been a CRT television up there originally in that hole, but now we've got this nice flat screen TV, and there's all movies on demand, videos on demand. It's got a modern video system, which is really, really nice. So yeah, a nice working area here where I have my laptop set up there. And then we have the bunks themselves. So each bunk has got a little night light there, and the switch just to the right is the one that turns out the main room lights. And then there's some more storage. There's like a little hidey hole in there for putting things, and I presume the top bunk's got one as well. And then there's some more storage down there. So heaps and heaps of storage. And here's the ladder for getting into the top bunk, which doesn't really need to be used because I think everyone pretty much uses the bottom bunk. So we do have these curtains, which are pretty handy. And then over here we have, that's a comfy chair there, a table which has got my big bottle of sanitizer on it. And then this will be the office chair for working at the desk. So very typical to have a bit of artwork in the room, just gives it a bit of decor. So then we've got up here is the air conditioning vent. Little trick that I like to use is if I do my own washing, which I generally do, although the cruise line washing service is very good as well, but I'll hang the washing from in these little holes because it needs airflow to dry. If you hang it up in the bathroom, which will show in a tick, it tends not to dry, or it takes days to dry because there's virtually no airflow in there, so it just doesn't dry the clothes. So that's what the cabin itself looks like. I really love the way that it's so spacious and I can walk around this cabin. Because you imagine if this had a queen size bed in it, it'd be full. You wouldn't be able to move in here. And in a typical, low cost inside cabin for a guest, that's what you'd have, is basically a queen bed and not much else. So I love that this is so functional, that I get all this desk space to work at, that the bunks are down that end, and then there's a good amount of space as I move back, put my back against the door now. There's a really good amount of space for me to be able to move around in this cabin. So if I show you this is the door to the facilities. I'll turn the light on. It is really, really small. I get that, but it's functional. So there's the shower there, and that's the toilet, and then there's a vanity there, which again has got some good storage space, and a basin there which has got my electric toothbrush sitting on it, and that's pretty much all there is. So it is a really rather pokey bathroom, but it does everything that it needs to do. So there you go. So this is where I'll be for the next 28 nights. I hope you enjoyed having this little look at what this crew cabin looks like. Yes, it is an inside cabin. Many crew cabins are inside cabins. To be honest, it's quite important that they are, because the life of the crew revolves around the ship. They may be working shifts. I generally don't work late shifts, although once a week I do have to work late. And so if you've been working late and you need to sleep, or if you're doing a crossing like Trans-Pacific or Transatlantic where the time zone is changing every day, your body can't keep up. So you just need to have a nap every now and then. And the great thing about being in an inside cabin is when you turn the lights out, it's nighttime. So what's going on outside doesn't really matter in terms of day or night, and that is quite important for crew who need to be able to adjust their body clocks to the routine of the ship rather than what the sun might be doing outside. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. You might like to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll be able to do 1 or 2 more videos. I won't post these until I'm off the ship, so by the time you see this, I will have come off the ship. But I look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.